Hi, this is Rick from Rick's Armor Models, and I want to give you an update on the Dicker Max completion. It is painted, and I would call it 90% done. I just have to paint the tools and stuff that are on the tank, and it'll be done. But this will give you a great idea what it'll look like. And also I have new from Hobby Boss in 1/48 scale is a just to simplify it, I'm going to call it a Panther command tank. It's not what they classify it as, but I'm going to call it that. Just and you'll see in just a moment, and let me share that with you. Okay, let's get this going. Thanks. Okay, so this is the completed Dicker Max, completely assembled. I put the chassis onto the lower chassis, and then the casemate on top of that. And I've done some painting. I did the seats. They're hard to see from underneath. And down in here, you can see that are German hand grenades. That is the muzzle cleaner and some other stowage gear. So I've got started on the painting right here. I just did a strap right there. I'm going to do the lifting jack for the vehicle, the exhaust, of course, all that is to come. But everything turned out well. I did come across some difficulties that I created. It had nothing to do with Hobby Boss. So I did modify the drive wheel and the idler wheel to accommodate full model metal tracks, which is I like to put on metal tracks when I can to any vehicle that I purchase. So everything went well until I went to glue everything. I had some resistance right about here. It wouldn't fit exactly flush. And so I thought I could just, after trying to find out what it was and sanding certain things I thought were the problem, I tried to glue it anyway and thought the plastic would just melt into each other and make the correction. And that is beginner wishful thinking, and I know better than that. And it did not work out. Although it's a good enough result, I'm going to finish this tank and be happy to have it on my shelf and be very proud of it. I just wish I had done something different. I think I know what I did now. Underneath what holds the gun in place, it just kind of lays in there. There's nothing below it designed from the kit to secure it that I found anyway. So what I did was I put some circular plastic piece underneath and glued it so it would spin. And I think now that I have it all glued, of course, I think I figured out in my head that's probably what was rubbing. And I won't be doing that again. And the reason I say again is because I bought 2 of these. So the Dicker Max, I'm probably going to be doing this after the current kit that I'm working on right now, which I'll show you in a second. And a guy told me on 1/48 Armored group on Facebook that the tracks for the Dicker Max, because they only made 2 of these, it was not a successful gun in any way. One just exploded, probably a design flaw or how the crew stowed the ammunition, but I can't believe that's the case. The German crews were well trained. Anyway, I'm going to make this stock. Instead of making modifications to allow full model metal tracks, I'm going to stick with the tracks in there, because the buddy of mine on that model group mentioned that the 2 prototypes, the tracks were narrower than the standard Panzer IV that we are familiar with. So many things were different than you think this Panzer IV chassis is. So it was a great model, is a great model, and my observation, the Hobby Boss may have not done the drive wheel wide enough or incorrect, and I apologize for that. It's because the kit tracks and because the actual Dicker Max had narrower tracks. So when I make this one, I will not be using metal tracks. I'll be using everything that comes with the kit, and I think I'll have a much better result this time around. And I'm thinking about making this be a winter one, maybe cover up some of my errors and still make a great tank, and I'll be okay with that. So I may consider doing that. So also, this is the new Hobby Boss Panther command tank, and this is this designation. I just lack the confidence to try to pronounce that word. I know I'm going to say it wrong. And I just started today doing the wheels and stuff and getting them off the sprues. And of course you get these little nubs that you got to deal with. And speaking of which, I got a couple things based on a YouTuber that does fantasy models. And this is called the God Hand. And instead of being a double action, only one side comes in. And they claim to, and it does cut better. And it works specifically for those little nubs that are on there that I'm speaking of. And this is also the display model. Same concept, only one jaw comes over. And this works very well as an alternative. It's about $10 to $15 cheaper. The God Hand, however, does cut it much cleaner. But this is a very, very close second, and you'd be happy with either one of these. And I also got these cases for each of them, even my Tamiya cutters. And it just protects that blade. And you know, you got to invest money in your tools like this, and they're not cheap. You want to protect things when you can. So I would highly recommend you can buy these separately. I got them on eBay. So this is the new release from Hobby Boss, the command tank. And this is a 50mm gun. And this was not meant to be a main battle tank, but just that, a command tank that with the extra antenna, three there with the extended on top, 4 extended to get be able to communicate with the headquarters and also individual tanks. It looks like to be a very good model, and like I said, I just started the running gear, the wheels, and I think this is going to be a really good tank. So I'm going to have to finish this one before I try again on this. But I feel like I need to get into this again. I didn't think I was going to do it so soon, but because of what for intermediate level of mine, I should know better on certain things and go for a better result and show you guys a better result when I'm done with that. But I'll make this a one-time film so that you see the end result on that. And on this one, I will be putting metal tracks on. It should be no problem. I shouldn't have to make any conversions at all, because this is a standard OSF A lower suspension and lower hull. And I know they probably have this on 1/48 scale as a conversion kit, but Hobby Boss came out with one that just the whole model, and it's great. It's simple build, simple instructions, limited parts, and I think it's going to be a great build. So I hope that helped the Dicker Mac showing you the final result and gave you that some idea if you want to get it yourself. I think it was a great tank, and just going to do something different next time. And more than happy to admit my errors when they happen, and they do it a lot. And also the German Command Panther tank at 1/48 scale for Hobby Boss. You can't go wrong with either one of those. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I want to thank you again. I have over 9,000 subscribers now and closing in 915 exactly, and I'm closing in on 1,000. And I very much appreciate your viewership. It keeps me going. What keeps me going particularly is the comments. And the comments, helpful, informative, and very friendly. And I really appreciate it. I just I wouldn't keep doing this without the comments. So thank you for the kind words or the observations that were kind. It keeps me going, and I very much appreciate you doing that, taking time out of your day to say something to me. So I hope you enjoyed this film. Please like, subscribe, and share if you'd like to share this with somebody, and help me grow my channel if you think I'm worthy of it. So we'll see you next time, and thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.